want to play for clicks. I want to be involved with a great leading program that's going to develop players. Him leaving Colorado, a shot across the bow at Dion. I don't think Dion cares.
We saw Logan Diggs move on from LSU to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Don't be shocked if you see John Emery potentially maybe at another school, maybe like a Miss State or even maybe like a Texas A&M.
Inside the transfer portal, only on SportsGrid.
Quotes coming out about Embiid. Oh, he's a warrior. You'll never get him off the court. You're just telling me he's an injury. He's one slip and fall away from what's not seeing him anymore in this series.
I would have sat him because there was only 1 day between the two games. It's 2 days between games 2 and games 3, and it's 2 days between games 3 and game 4.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
This sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall.
Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money.
It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast in the biggest way possible, hanging out the bad seed, the broken the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh, people dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake-it-up, should along with, listen to this unbelievable development. The Prime Minister has once again taken time out of his hectic worldly schedule to take part in a C2C. It's Cam Stewart live from Toronto, and it's run by Frank the Tank and Luke. I am your father. This is Coast to Coast on a pain-free Friday from New York City and Toronto. We'll have Gabe Morency in Vancouver this very hour, plus Coach James Young on the Lion's Share, Davis Maddock from Fantasy Sports Today, and C2C. He'll be on as well. Let's start with this, Cam. Always good to see you. I wanted to get an evaluation before we get into the Wells Fargo leaderboard and Xander Schauffele's 4-stroke lead. You recently went on a North American tour and came to America. You did everything. He went to check out all the World Cup sites. He went to Mexico. He went to all the cities. Behind Morency's back, he voted for East Rutherford to get the World Cup final. Morency hasn't spoken with him since, but he did spend 2 days in New York City going to hockey games. One with me against the Leafs at the Rock, and then he went with the old blue liner to the horse track to see the Islanders play. Now, I'm just guessing, this is just my guess, is that, when they checked the quantity of booze drank at the 2 games, that the game at the Rock was up here in terms of partying, and the game at the horse track was more like down here. So, how was the evaluation after the trip from your colleagues and the people? Obviously, you traveled with the First Lady. You had security detail, administrative detail. What was your overall rating of the trip to party with Uncle Fullbelly?
Uncle Fullbelly was good to me because without him, I would have spent more. Scotty, you came through with your buddy with the Samsonov jersey. Well, that guy's an interesting cat. Anyway, it was amazing. But you're right. Party at the Rock, death metal, crowd surfing party. Excellent. Go to the island with George Kurtz, the old blue liner, wanted Carver to come as well. But, $67 for a tall boy and a double vodka. I told my lady, here's the deal. Next time we go to New York, we're train drinking, we're room drinking, whatever. I'm not going to a game and dropping like $600 on drinks anymore. It's not like we were drinking Dom. We were literally drinking Dos Equis and double vodka. So here's the deal. Lower your drink prices. I'm already from Canada getting screwed 68 cents on the dollar, you meatball. Stop ripping me off. It's expensive enough. Great trip, though. Great trip.
How about
Love the games.
At the Rock, you were drinking double vodkas, and each hand was $80. So it was $160 for every round that you drank with me. And I'd say we drank 10 rounds.
At least. Well, the first lady, she's octopus arms. She drinks 16. She puts guys to sleep at the local bar. He's like, hey, Lisa, you want to have a drinking contest? She's like, triple vodka later. Hey, numbnuts, you're asleep. I'm still here. You want to go for round 12? The first lady is the first lady of beverage consumption. She is an animal. She just texted me. I left you some vodka for the show after Ferrall, so Merry Christmas. Great trip, Scotty. Love New York, love New Jersey, love everything. Just booze prices sucked at the hockey game. Other than that, excellent.
Later on the show, we will have the Prime Minister break down another failed Leaf season when we get to our hockey segment. He has been named a potential replacement for Sheldon Keefe in Toronto, but my sources tell me he will turn that job down to remain the Prime Minister of the country. He also, later in the show, will give me the finger for the Canadian under-18 victory over the USA in ice hockey. But our leaderboard in Charlotte has Xander on top by 4 over the Irishman, Rory. And then your boy, the Poseidon Adventure, is 5 back. Jason Day not wearing green pants today, wearing white. He's 5 back. Pendrith, the Canadian who's coming off a win, 6 back with Spieth and Morikawa. What are your thoughts on the 2 tournaments, the one in Charlotte and the one in Myrtle Beach going on right now? I know you and Carver High are golf fanatics.
Carver High's an animal, and I got to tell him, I go, what's the deal? I go, how do you like it? He goes, I like it toasty. Alejandro Toasty, he's in like 2nd place. And I go, hey, Carver, you're Irish, I'm Scottish. Why don't we take a shot with Robert McIntyre? And he's leading. So Carver's got the guys. Oh, yeah. Dude, this guy's paler than pale. Like, you got to see Robert McIntyre, white as a sheet. I'll tell you, Carver again goes, you know what? I feel good about Pendrith this week.
He looks like a refrigerator. He's so white.
Oh, yeah. You know what I love about Carver, too? He's like got the Irish, the loosened tie, always looking beat down. He always goes with the Irish guys. So it's doing well for him now. He has Rory top 5. We have a lot of guys in the mix. And Scotty actually hit Chapelet first-round leader 20-1. So I got some of my woman's money back for the amount of Smirnoff she could plow. So it's been a good start to the golf tournament. Watch out for Chapelet.
What about your boy where the crow flies is 3 back in Myrtle Beach?
Oh, I got got nothing on the crow. But, this guy came out of nowhere. You know what I love about the Myrtle Beach tournament, too, is these guys, it's a grade B tournament. You make money here, it doesn't matter. You're still going to go to other tournaments. So I don't have the crow, but we have a piece of, right now, the Scotsman. And we got a guy, and Carver has Toasty. He's red hot in golf, Scott. You got to ride his tail right now. He's feeling it.
He's a great golf bettor. He's out at City Field tonight for the Little League tournament. They're having a Little League day at the Mets game, and little Ray Lewis and the undefeated Long Island Ducks with their manager, Carver High, like Buttermaker, with his 2 cans of Schlitz. And the team undefeated on the season. And, of course, I taught little Ray how to wrap Big League Chew in a wad of actual Red Man leaf. So she's working the tobacco bubble gum double in her chaw. And I told her to spit all over the bases for the Mets because I hate them so much. Let's move to the NBA. Cam, what did you think of the Cavs' destruction of the Celtics last night? You talk about going through the motions. Boston looked terrible.
I got to tell you, Frank the Tank, great call on Cleveland. We took the points, didn't have the stones to take the money line. If Donovan Mitchell plays, this could be a longer series than we think. Boston will find a way, but Gabe and I talked about it too. That Celtics bench reeks, Scotty. I take you and the YMCA team over those guys. That was some pathetic play at the end of the game. That's the thing about Boston. They rely on the threes, and if they're not falling, they're vulnerable. I know they're better than Cleveland, but if we get this type of performance, Cavs can linger.
I do play every day of the week, but I do not play at the YMCA. I think that's the Cripple League. I'm actually in the D1 and retired NBA Players League, and I'm the worst player there, but I still fill it up. Here we go. Donovan Spida Mitchell beats the third quarter buzzer with this tray pop from deep on ESPN.
Here. 2 seconds left. Mitchell gets it off. You bet! Donovan Mitchell at the horn.
Yeah, and let's listen to him now talk about how they're going home.
Donovan, how do you view the series at this point heading home? Do you feel like you stole a game? Do you feel like you're even? Do you feel like you have a little bit of advantage?
No, yeah, we're even. Now we got to go do – this game means nothing if we don't take care of home court. So at the end of the day, we took home court, and, series doesn't start till somebody wins on the road, and we did that, and now we got to go protect home court. Simple as that.
I almost fell over when they won. It's one thing to win, but to win by 24 is just crazy. I thought LeVert played great off of the bench. I thought Mobley played great, the toothpick that he is. I couldn't believe what they did in Boston at the Garden. Later, we will play some Missoula for you and give you the series odds. When we come back, Morency from Vancouver getting ready to go to Game 2 tonight against the Oilers and Canucks.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I kind of go back and forth with where all of this should land on the PGA Tour. I think individual 72 holes is what I really like for professional golf, for big time events.
Like, we're gonna make this all about teams. We're gonna have home games, and that's gonna be the focus of this competition. I don't think that works if you have guys that are still trying to play at the highest level on an individual front.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Dude, did you know BetMGM has responsible gambling tools so you don't get carried away?
I never get carried away. Well, there were the bobbleheads. And the playoff beer. Chili's ready! Well, those tools could really help.
Don't forget about the backyard rink.
Yeah, these tools are pretty great.
BetMGM is committed to making gambling safe and fun with responsible gambling tools, so you don't get carried away.
Of course, you can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on SportsGrid, all of our OTT TV affiliates, all of our radio affiliates, including Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio in San Diego, from Mexico to the Canadian Rockies, all over the West Coast, Sports Byline USA, all of their great affiliates on satellite radio, Sirius XM, The Choice, Channel 159. Tonight preempted, however, because it's crucial. And the Prime Minister also made this happen with his powers and his abilities to have things, schedules moved and changed and meetings moved and changed. What he's done is he's created an opening for Morency to be able to come on C2C today, and then immediately in 76-degree, perfect sunshine weather, yachts all over the harbor, the ocean off to the left. The arena will be popping tonight because it's time for Morency to go to Game 2 of the Oilers and Canucks Western Conference Semi. And the tailgate will start relatively soon after this broadcast. And it is on all night long, like the Four Horsemen. Explain your afternoon and evening and what it's like going to that type of tailgate and that arena as you compare it in a playoff atmosphere to like going to the Bell Center or going to a Leafs playoff game. What's it like in Vancouver? Because I know the last time they were in the Stanley Cup Finals, it didn't go well for them, and they set the town on fire when the series was over.
You wouldn't think of the Vancouver Canuck fan base as being as rabid as they are, but it's a rabid fan base. It's a passionate fan base, and it's a very mixed demographic fan base. It's what makes the Vancouver Canucks interesting. You have your old school traditional Vancouver Canuck fans that used to go to the Pacific Coliseum when the team came into the league in 1970. And there's this sort of new school rowdy Canuck fan. And, it's amazing because Vancouver's a very chill city. But when it comes to the Canucks, they just raise it up to the next level. And they haven't hosted a playoff series in 9 years. So they beat Nashville. And now it's starting to dial up, Scott. It's hard to explain. It's hard to describe what a hockey playoff run is like in Canada. But it just builds. Each day it gets bigger and bigger. And like when the Canucks came back and won the other night, immediately across the city, you could just hear honking, honk, 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 cars like all over, right? Like truckers driving like everywhere. Right. It becomes like an entity. Not to mention, people effing hate Edmonton. Edmonton hates Vancouver. Vancouver hates Edmonton. The players don't like each other. The fans don't like each other. And I should have laughed at this, Scott, as a radio host, that we've all been there. But people are so stupid now, they're not funny, right? I used to get, like, prank calls and stuff, and, like, it would be funny. Like, they'd have a joke or, like, you know what I mean? There'd be something funny about it. But people are so stupid now, they're not creative. But I don't think it's cool, but it broke the will. It broke the will of the Edmonton postgame show hosts the other day. People from Vancouver, Scott, so they come back, they win, it's 4-1. Everyone's somber on the Edmonton postgame show, like depressed. Oh, they blew a 4-1 lead. Let's go to Bill in Red Deer. Hey, Bill, what'd you think about the game? He goes, well, it's really too bad that Skinner sucks and Edmonton's a hellhole and a dump. And they're like, all right. They hang up. Scott, it was like 6 calls in a row of Vancouver Canuck fans. But they would set them up first. They didn't just come up, you suck. They would be like, oh, you know what, Connor McDavid, he's doing his best, but he needs some help, and he needs some help to get out of your stupid hellhole of effing city. They had to shut it down. The host's like, I think it just says everything you need to know about the people of Vancouver. They're a bunch of scumbags. I couldn't help but be laughing, Scott. I know it was so immature, but I was crying. See, they were like, that's all you need to know about those people in Vancouver. It's like, oh, yeah, like 2 jackasses and his buddies calling in. It's a whole city, but it's getting real, bro. And that Whitney guy, Ryan Whitney, went off about how Vancouver sucks. He did a big video for Barstool, and Canuck fans are going after him pretty hard. So it's a lot of fun, Scott. Sort of like college, it's like a college rivalry or something. That's the best way to describe it. You got Oiler jerseys, Canuck jerseys. Everyone's chirping and drinking and mouthing off.
You can't even compare the two cities. I mean, Vancouver stomps Edmonton. Edmonton, you could watch your dog run away for 3 days.
Christy Nome should be like the governor of Edmonton and Alberta, all right? It's like the South Dakota of Canada.
I will
Sorry,
say,
Edmonton.
I used to tell you the story that I used
Sorry,
to go.
South Dakota.
I used to go buy suits there. You get like 3 for the price of 1.
Where in Edmonton?
In Edmonton. They'll do anything to get somebody to come to the store. 3 suits for the price of 1. I was like, this place is great. I came back to the team hotel. I had like 6 suits. I was
Vancouver's
like,
the opposite, Scott. It's the price of 3 suits for 1 in Vancouver.
That's right. It's a real
it's like
city.
San Francisco, New York. It's like the third. It's New York, San Francisco, Vancouver, the 3 most expensive cities in North America.
So do you think they I know the other day you said you think Vancouver's winning the series. Do they win tonight?
I'm a little bit apprehensive after, and now that I'm going too. I missed an epic comeback, and now I got to go to the next game after. But yeah, you know what? It's this thing. It's similar to the Rangers. Why are the Canucks underdogs, Scott? We talked about it before. So remember, it was a goal in the regular season, didn't mean anything. All right, well, now they're beating them 5 times in a row, and they're underdogs again. So you want to keep on making them underdogs? Fine, I'll keep on taking them. I think there's going to be some goals scored once again tonight. I like the over 1.5 in the first period, but yes, Scott, I think the Vancouver Canucks, they're winning the series. But I think they win again tonight, 4-3.
All right, so when we come back, we'll talk to Morency about the violence in the Florida-Boston series that now shifts to the Garden in Boston, and hopefully they cleaned up all the blood from the floor last night that the Cavs shanked the Celtics. And then we'll talk about the Knicks-Pacer game tonight and the Denver game in Minneapolis with the T-Bulls. We're talking to Morency on SportsGrid, coast to coast. Don't go anywhere.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the 2nd or 3rd inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those 2 things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they can be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers. You must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
This sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So we're talking to Morency in Vancouver. He just told me that Toronto got awarded a WNBA team today that'll start in 26. And you don't believe that the Fever in Indiana will be good this year, even with Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston playing together. To me, it takes two to tango. They got two really good players on that team. I don't know anything about the rest of the team. I know they were awful, but they didn't have Caitlin Clark. And if she can drop 20-plus a game shooting the way she shoots and the way she can run the pick and roll with Boston, I've already seen them together play in this preseason game, and she's already racking up points with this girl. I think they'll turn it around.
Turning it around, though, means becoming a good basketball team. There's a reason why they had the number one pick of the draft. The teams are deep, Scott, in the WNBA. But for the record, I like the Chicago Sky a lot better. The team that Angel Reese and Cardoso went to. I think the Chicago Sky, because the Chicago Sky, weren't terrible last year. Indiana have a long way to go, even with Caitlin Clark. They got 13,000 people last night, her preseason debut, and she scored 12 points. She said after, nerves, and she was, she felt it and all that. Get it out of her system. But it starts next week. So we'll hit this, but I'm going to get some season win totals in just quickly on it. I do like the Indiana Fever under 21.5. It was 22.5, but the sharp sort of WNBA bettors hit it early because they knew that, there'd be the Caitlin Clark hype. So it went down a full game. It's 21.5. They play 40 games in the WNBA now. They used to play 36. They've expanded to 40 this year. I don't think they're a winning team. I think they'll win like 17 games or something like that. And incidentally, the Chicago Sky, their win total is ridiculously low at 11.5. Bet the over the Chicago Sky, Scott. I'm ready to go, whatever sport it is.
Toronto team will be better than the Leafs.
Well, what's interesting? There's the PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League, is in its inaugural season, and it's killing it, bro. They're getting like 20,000 people a game. All right, like it's legit, and they're in the playoffs right now. So I'm telling you right now, Scott, yes, Toronto is finally going to win a hockey championship. And I love the irony that the Toronto team is going to win the women's championship in the league's first year, Scott, and the Leafs haven't won since 1967. Like the women come in and just sort of drop the mic in year one.
And the women's WNBA team wins it in their second year. And the Leafs
the Raptors did win. So there's some basketball, they're okay.
Thank you, Kawhi. All right, Florida and Boston, you've seen two wild games, and particularly Game 2 in Sunrise with all the fighting that broke out in that 6-1 Panther win. Now they shift to the Garden in Boston for the next two. Game 3 tonight. Who do you like?
I like the Boston Bruins tonight. I think Boston were pushed around in Game 2. Now, it's been a little while since, Boston's been the one that needs to fight back. Right, Boston, for the most part, they didn't push Toronto around. It was a 7-game series, but Toronto were the ones that were behind all the time, right? So Boston was in control of the series. They win Game 1. Swayman's bubble was finally burst, but I think they get back on track. This is going to be a fun game, bro. First period is must-see. The first 5 minutes, they might fight in the first minute of the game. There might be one of those, all right, let's go, after they drop the puck.
Just get it over with.
The coach of Boston's a nut job. He's old school hockey type. He liked Pasternak getting punched in the face. I wouldn't. I'd be like, dude, somebody else has got to do that. We can't have this. We can't have Pasternak. The only guy we have is offensively good is getting his face
send Crosby in to fight him. Let's send
is there someone else that can fight Kachuk? Right? But
who do you like in the Knicks game tonight in Indiana, and who do you like in the Denver game in Minneapolis?
Love the over once again, guys. We hit the over in the first two games of the Pacers in the Knicks series. The odds makers keep getting it wrong. We're going to hit it again tonight, and it's even going to be more free-flowing tonight because OG Anunoby's not in the lineup. And when OG Anunoby doesn't play, the guy's one of the best defensive players in the league. Look for Siakam to be better tonight. I like Siakam player prop to the over. I like the game to go over the number. I do think the Pacers win, but I don't think it's going to be easy for them. I'm not ready to lay 7. And give me the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. I think the Nuggets are on the ropes for real.
Wow, so they're going down 3-0 in that series, and they're finished. A one-and-done championship.
Yeah, I think they're. You know what? Jamal Murray should have been suspended, Scott, in my opinion.
I agree. That was a girly man move. All right, have a blast at the tailgate in the Canucks playoff game.
Go Nuts!
Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah? 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL? Ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
Late
sort of
Night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
You know, BetMGM's first bet offer is the greatest thing that's ever happened in the world, literally, since the beginning of time. So here's the deal. You can sign up for the mobile app, download it on iOS, Android, or go to betmgm.com, put $10 in, open your account, get it going, and be like, I'm going to bet $1,500 on the Canucks tonight. And if they lose, let's say you lose the bet, the minute that wager is settled, they're putting $1,500 back in your mobile app account. Bonus bets, $1,500 paid back to you if your initial bet loses. So you can't lose. It's just a Gandhi promotion. The BetMGM first bet $1,500. It's the best in the business. Everybody's talking about it, and they're all very jealous of BetMGM. All right, back with the Prime Minister now. Boston and Cleveland. Can we show the series odds? Oh, I think we're going to start with Missoula. Let's start with the coach of the Celtics talking about his team getting whacked.
Joe, was this loss completely tactical? It was nothing mental? You guys didn't, it was not effort, 100% effort? Like, why did you guys lost by 28 points or whatever? Like, what happened?
I have to go back and watch the film, but I think when you lose a game like that, it could be a combination of tactics, combination of effort, combination of like a little bit of all those things at times. Not to say it was one thing the entire time, but it's probably a combination of those.
And you guys haven't had your ass kicked like this in a long time. How do you guys respond from this in 2 days?
I love that question. You got your ass kicked.
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
You treat it as if the same way as you would have win. You come in tomorrow, you watch the film, and you get better for game 3.
Okay, Mr. Boring. All right, so how boring is this guy? Honest to Christ. Here's the deal. Who needs to watch film when you get whacked by 24? What's there to look at? How they walked through the night? How they slept-walked? How they didn't try? How they didn't show up? They literally quit in the game. They just quit. Like, they got blown out. I wouldn't want to watch that game film. I'd rather watch a bad movie on Netflix than watch that game film. Can we show the odds of this series now that's tied at 1, headed to Cleveland? All right, we don't have them at the moment, so I'm going to do it for you. Boston's still winning this series, Cam.
I don't think it's going to be easy, though, Scott. I'm going to say this. By the way, worst voiceover clips ever. Here's the podium. John Tavares, Connor McDavid, and Missoula. Gold, silver, bronze. You all stink. Get a personality. Give me Cleveland to split in Cleveland, buddy. This series is not over. Boston will win. You are right, Ferrall. I'm just going to say it's not going to be a cakewalk. I'd love it to be a battle.
Fair enough. Now, listen, I watched this guy in the huddle last night talking. I don't know if you were watching the game or not, but they showed, both coaches talking in the huddle where they mic up the bench and you can hear them in the huddle. And never before have I been more convinced, and I've said this on Coast to Coast, and everyone laughs at me, and I'm fine with that. Believe me, I got a lot of people that laugh at me every day, everywhere I go, and make fun of me. A guy made fun of my haircut today, and then I dropped 20 on him playing basketball, and I asked him if he wanted to take a nap in my nest after I torched him.
Yeah, say, I want to get a pitching wedge off that. That's a beautiful rough, Scott. Let's get right under that. Thank you.
It is clean and tight. Now, here's what I wanted to say, is that I think the most useless, unnecessary, worthless thing in sports is, frankly, coaches.
Coaches might sit.
No, just coaches in general. I do not believe for 1 minute that any player in the NBA that's making money, and they all make a ton of money. I've even said, young kids that come in and get drafted, they make money they've never seen before, and they're living a life they've never led before. They're in Shangri-La. They're like, what is happening to me? I'm living in this privileged life. But my point is that I listen to these guys talk in the huddle, and it is so pathetic. It is so absolutely worthless, pathetic, and nonsensical. They say nothing. They do absolutely nothing to motivate NBA players, or there's not one player that listens to them. They literally sit there and blow smoke, and nothing that they say is eaten by any of the players. They don't listen to them. So it's just a giant, colossal, windy conversation of nothingness. They're just blowing smoke. And honestly, it's like I've said before, LeBron he already is the coach of the Lakers. They don't need a coach. They fired Darvin Ham. They're going to hire someone else. Why? Why hire a coach? These guys don't listen to coaches at all. They don't listen to them. They do nothing. Even at practice, shoot around, walk through, these guys don't listen to coaches. They don't listen to assistants. They don't listen to head coaches. And meanwhile, they pay these guys tons of money, 5-year deals for $100 million. I mean, Budenholzer's going to get a gigantic 5-year deal. Ham had a gigantic deal. Frank Vogel had a gigantic deal. They all make all this money for what? They're worthless. I don't need a coach at all in any sport.
Yep. You tell me. Now, I will say this. Me, you, and Morency can coach a hockey team like wasted at 4 o'clock in the morning leaving the bar. I've covered every league. Literally, there's a couple breakouts and a couple systems. Basketball, same thing. The only sport, this is my opinion, the only football. That's where coaches actually have to make, out of all the sports, football is the one thing where I think coaches actually, but you're right about basketball, hockey, and baseball. Me and you could fall asleep getting wasted in the dugout and put a lineup card together. So I'm
honestly, now I'll agree with you on football, but look, and I do mean that because I think that guy Schwartz, the defensive coordinator of the Browns, I think he's one of the best coaches I've seen, what he does with a defense. But in hockey and in basketball,
don't need him.
Now look, I'll give you this. I think at the high school and college level, they need coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people are going to say this is insane, but think about it for a minute. I mean, honestly, think about it. At the pro level, with these guys making hundreds of, can you imagine Bradley Beal's making $55 million? He runs out of the game. The coach gives him a high five and he blows him off. He wouldn't even shake his hand. He's like, get away from me. Don't touch me. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. I don't like you. You're getting fired. We're going to make sure you get fired. Players get coaches fired because they don't respect them, listen to them, or need them. They don't need them at all. When I play ball every morning, do you think these guys that I play with need advice on how to play basketball and how to set screens and how to D and how to talk on D and how to run the fast break and with numbers and how to get the ball in the hole. Some guy, this guy Missoula, I listened to him last night in a huddle. I was like, listen to this girly man trying to talk to these brothers. Not one of them's listening to him. And he's like, all right, guys, we need more energy. And everybody has to just try a little harder. Let's get a little bang bang in our game. Let's hustle together. Come on, we're a team. Let's join hands and all make love to one another. Shut up. Shut your face. Go eat popcorn at the end of the bench. We don't listen to you. It is the most overrated job I've ever seen in my life. NHL and NBA coaching jobs. Honestly, why do they have them? You pay them millions for what?
Here's
what? They do
You're right,
nothing,
Scott.
Cam.
Dude, trust me. I didn't even play it like a National Hockey League level. We played a decent level. I can tell you I can coach. It's just one of those things. It's not a difficult game. As for the series price, the Celtics are minus 1,200 and Cleveland's 8-1. You tell me, that's a lot of, do you think I really want to lay $1,200 to win $100? The answer is no. Boston will probably still win, but Cleveland is very attractive at 8-1.
There's no way they're losing that series. I just don't believe it. I think last night they were on Percocet and they just never showed up for the game. I mean, they looked like they were on some serious opioids. They were not trying. They were all stoned and high and worthless. When we come back, we'll get into the Mavs win over the Thunder. The Thunder's first loss in the playoffs. I like their coach, the Thunder, but they don't need him either.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they could be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers. You must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage
This
late
sort of
night.
has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Do yourself a favor, and like when they, now I'm not gonna say, but I will. I don't even think they listen to Thibodeau. So listen to the games tonight. And now they give this guy Malone all this credit for that championship last year. Let me tell you something. When you have Joker, Porter, Gordon, and Murray, you don't need a coach. I know people say, oh, you got to have a real solid coach. You got to have a great coach. Look at the Lakers. Since Riley and Jackson, all they've had is basically like 5 abortions is what they've had. So here's the deal. Listen to the game, watch the game, and listen to the huddle, how pathetic it is. It's the most pathetic thing you'll ever hear in your life. I mean, boy bands are more exciting to listen to than NBA coaches. They're embarrassing. That guy Mazzulla last night, it was so embarrassing listening to it. I was like, how much are they paying this loser? I mean, honestly, come on, fellas. We need a little more effort. I mean, these guys are stepping all over you. Can we all just pray to God right now that Jesus will help us in this moment of desperation, in this bloodletting at home? Come on, we're a team. This is Boston here we're fighting for. I mean, it was pathetic. It was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen in my life. He's a hack, too. I don't care what anybody says. I wouldn't listen to that guy if I was at a commencement speech. Honestly, I'd be like, where's my phone? I got to make some bets. Honestly, you wonder why I bring a phone to church. I can't listen to the priest either. 3,000 years of Moses with a salmon under his arm, walking in the desert with sandals. And I'm like, Jesus.
I made the mistake,
you
Scotty.
make me stand to sing.
I texted Carver when we won a golf bet at church when the communion plate was coming. Bad timing. He's like, I'm at church with the family. I'm like, don't worry, we won money. God will take care of it, buddy. We're rich.
I went to church with him once for his daughter's commencement, and I go, don't ever invite me here again. I'm not coming back. I don't go to church, okay? All right, here we go. Before I get the red phone ringing, Mavs beat the Thunder by 9. The series tied at 1. P.J. Washington getting involved with his 7th-3. He had 29 on ESPN.
So good. Offensive rebound, Green. Washington got another one. P.J. Washington with 7 threes.
He went off. Luka went off. Luka 29, 10, and 7, and 5 threes with his fake Oscar performance injuries. He's always, when he walks on the court, he does the Willis Reed every game like he's crippled, and then he begs the refs. He's like a prostitute on the street in the city begging for money. He's like, oh, give me a call, my ankle, my knee. Oh, God. And then he scores, almost has a triple-double. Never listen to Brunson or Luka crying about their injuries and their fouls, because these two are literally Oscar performances, both of them. So here's Luka saying it was a grind. He had to grind it out. He's just so tired.
Just mentality. I think today was one of the hardest games I had to play. I'm battling out there. I try to do my best to help the team win. But just my mentality, have a great start, and then team is going to follow me. So they follow me and Kai, and we got to do that.
This guy is, he's so unbelievable. What a phony. He plays great even when he's sleeping, okay? So I don't want to hear about how hard he has to try and work and grind just to get through a game, because he lights it up every night. Did you see Cam, this guy,
get his family
in the crowd, giving his family the business? And he went over there and he's like, dude, what's your problem? You're a grown man. You're lighting up women and children. What's wrong with you?
I'm with you, Ferrall. That's BS. You know what, you want to talk about that? That's personal stuff. You get in your family's face. Somebody did that to you. The guy's getting punched in the face. That's what's going to happen. You put that guy in a pretzel. That's ridiculous behavior, man. I don't care if it's sporting event, whatever. That's nuts. And I think it should have been actually a bigger story. Like, it's just stupid.
Have you ever seen the guy at the game where they put him in a wheel at halftime and he spins around on the court? I think instead what they should do is put that guy in one of those guillotines and chop his head off at halftime for the fans to watch.
We'll stone him at halftime.
Yeah. Some guy he's yelling stuff at a player's wife. They catch him. They put him in a guillotine headlock and they slice his head off.
Put him
throw garbage and rocks at him. Let people persecute him. It's a great idea.
What kind of world are we living in? Like, you know what I mean? You're getting in people like, come on, dude. Like, I'll tell you, man, this is nuts. But yeah, what a speed bag.
It was this world. It was this world 200 years ago when they did it. They had it all figured out back then. All right, so who do you like in the series? I'm not going to ask for odds at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, who do you like in the series?
I got Dallas minus 125, Oklahoma's plus 105. I lean Dallas, Scott. I think it's going to go to the distance. I'm an SGA guy, being the prime minister and all, but I just think Dallas is going to find a way. So I would lean Dallas. It's a short price at a quarter. I just think they have the pedigree to get it done. It will go the distance.
Yeah, I'm on the Thunder. My son's a huge Thunder fan. I got to roll OKC. I love this young team because they're young, stupid, paid well, don't act like KD and Beal and all the rest of these guys, Jimmy Butler, and now, the Tatums and the Browns. I guarantee you Brown will never be the same once they gave him that $300+ million. He'll never be the same. He ain't never going to listen to anybody. You think he listens to Missoula? Honestly, trust me when I tell you I'm right. All right, tonight, the Pacers and the Knicks in the Fieldhouse in Indy. Rick Carlisle fined $35,000 for his post-game comments after Game 2 when he set the table for Games 3 and 4 to get all the calls from the refs against the Knicks. Here's Josh Hart on Carlisle saying that small market teams get shafted.
You were played at the biggest markets and then also the small. When you're playing at the small markets, we like, I have no NBA's trying to hold us down.
No, that's so stupid, bro. I mean, like, we gonna say the big market always wins. The Knicks ain't won a chip in 51 years, so obviously that don't really hold much weight. So I don't fully understand that. Sorry, New York, for the for the reminder, but I think that's just idiotic. At the end of the day, it's who's playing the best, and that's I've never seen a ref, shoot a free throw or make a three or miss a rotation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's right, and
I disagree.
Cam, it has nothing to do with it.
I disagree totally. Sacramento was going to win, and they gave that title to the Lakers. The Pacers, I love the Knicks, but they haven't got calls. It's true. Small market teams do get the shaft. I'm telling you, it's fact, Joe. It is fact, Jack. I don't care. I know it's an excuse, but hey, Pacers will get a few calls at home tonight. We'll see.
Bottom line was they should have won the games, and they didn't.
That's true.
The Cam Rising stuff last year with Utah, 3 months of pretending he was questionable with a torn ACL, ridiculous.
It's a lot of gray right now when it comes to this stuff, and we really are. When people say we're in like the second or third inning of sports betting, that's why I agree, because there's so many of those situations that are very, very difficult to explain to a novice.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
You got to get more athletic and better defensively, right? You got to get better shooting. And if you can do those two things and hope that Darvingham takes the next step, if you bring him back, they can be better. But if you don't do that, you must more than anything the Lakers, you must get rid of Rob Pelinka and get a better basketball guy.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Ferrall coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from three on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not one, but two coaches fired systems in place.
Sports Rage Late
sort
Night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
I won't be airing the second Luka interview that he did after the game last night, where some chick was getting tagged in the men's room. Are we on the air? Don't talk about tag. Okay. Let's move on. The Big Ragu was talking about how the Knicks should sit guys and throw the game because they have so many injuries.
the idea of punting a game and saying, you know what, let's get healthy for this.
Maybe stop there. We ain't punting nothing. We're coming in here to win the game.
There you go.
This is this real? Like, what? Yeah, we're actually good as injuries. We're just gonna This is the whole difference of the world than it was in the past. I am that old guy. Get off my lawn. Are you an absolute? Are you a moron? You go and play the damn game. Who cares who's there? Like, honest to God, Scotty. Like, this stuff just makes me sick. Go and play. You might not win, but you don't tap out.
Yeah, listen, I think they're fine with because I still think Brunson will play. So between Brunson, the Dirty Dog Heart, and the Big Ragu, and Deuce McBride, and White Boy Rick Hartenstein, I think they can still give them problems. They're a lot, in my view, tougher than the Pacers. I think the Pacers' starting five is really good. I think, obviously, McCollum's been, this kid, TJ McConnell's been great. And I think, Obi-Wan Kenobi's been great for them. They can give the Knicks problems. They had both games by the fingertips in New York, and they just didn't get it done. But I don't think the Knicks are going to try to throw a game at all. These four guards of theirs are nothing but trouble for the Pacers. Here's the odds. Who do you like tonight at the Fieldhouse in Indy between the Pacers and Knicks?
I wouldn't lay 7 with the Pacers. I think they're going to win the game. It's going to be tighter maybe than people think. I think the Pacers are going to squeeze it out at home. But to lay that kind of number, I will say this, though, Scotty. Think about this. OG and Siakam know each other very well. OG's out playing with the Raptors, and I know about these guys. Me and Gabe talked about it. Siakam's going to go off tonight. This guy was really living in him. So if you're looking for a player prop, I think Siakam's going to have a monster game for the Indiana Pacers.
All right, let's look at the most bet player props right now for this game tonight. You see Nebhard under in PRA. Brunson under, what is that, 35.5 points. TJ McConnell over 19.5 PRA. You got Hartenstein under 10.5 rebounds. I think Hartenstein is going to have more than 10.5 rebounds tonight. And DiVincenzo under 4.5 3-pointers. I mean, I think he made 5 or at least 5 or 6 the other night in game 2. That might be a decent bet that he will have under 4.5 threes in Indianapolis. We'll see. I mean, the Knicks fire away. Do you like any of those props right there? I agree with you on Siakam. Siakam points and rebounds over, PRA over. I like Siakam for sure.
Smashing Siakam. I like where you're going. I disagree with the bettors. I like Hartenstein over 10.5. I think he can get like 12 or 13. And give me McConnell. If I on that board, I like McConnell over 19.5 points, rebounds, assists.
All right. Here's Mike Malone. He says the Nuggets can get back into the series tonight at the Target Center. Here's the Nuggets coach.
Yeah, I mean, 33 teams have come back from 0-2 deficits. I think 5 or 6 teams have done that after losing the first 2 at home. Reggie Jackson was a part of one of those. So, as I told our players, is it possible? Yes, history tells us it's possible. But you have to participate in your own recovery. Just because it's been done before doesn't mean we're going to do it. Only if we have the requisite mindset. That's what the biggest thing is. And to your point, yes, you look at history, but my whole focus is, as I mentioned after the game, and I'll mention again today, is how do we win Game 3? Because if you're worried about winning 4 more games, no, win Game 3. We were down twice in the bubble, 3-1, 3-1. We never said we got to win 4 in a row. It was let's win Game 5, let's win Game 6, and then you worry about Game 7. Man, this is about going out there and playing the game of basketball the way we have played for 6 years. I reminded our guys today, fellas, we're the reigning world champions. Act like it and play like it. Thank you.
Yeah, the problem is, Cam, is that in the first 2 games, they got their asses stomped.
I'm going to tell you something, Scott. This is not a hot take, cold take. I like the T-Wolves to sweep. If they win this game tonight, they are going to sweep them. This is not supposed to be. I'm not trying to be different. I'm just giving you the facts. Take a look at the sportsbook odds for them to win in 4 or 5. These guys don't give money away. T-Wolves sweep if they win tonight.
All right, we'll look at the odds, and we'll even hear from Chris Finch with his blown-out knee coming up.